All right, it's time to talk women's soccer here at the University of West Florida. Head coach Joe Bartlinski is with us. And coach, I mean, you blink and all of a sudden it's game week coming up here and you get the season started.
Yeah.
Good to be back?
Yeah.
Ready to be back?
Yeah, exciting. Warm weather outside, but the players have adapted well and looking forward to traveling next weekend.
Master the understatement. Warm it is. Hot. Some people might call it hot. They might call it excessively hot. But what challenges does that present in getting prepped for the year?
Yeah, again, but you're going to play matches during the heat, so you have to be prepared. So you just can't back down. You just accept it and move on. We play soccer outside and not volleyball or basketball, so maybe I chose wisely, not so long ago. But yeah, we're ready for it and just looking forward to it.
What do you like about this team? I mean, this is a team that had great success. Your program's had great success, but last year it was a strong team. You came really close to taking it potentially all the way. Is that kind of the expectation? What do you have coming back?
Well, the expectation is just to win the next game. I mean, that's the only expectation. The key, again, is we do return a lot of players. But what I like about this team is the leadership coming back, and it's not just one or two people like Michaela and Micaiah. It's the entire upper class group. And if you can get leadership like that, then you can have some decent success.
That's so important to have that leadership, and really, as a coach, how do you lean on them, and what does that leadership group do for you, especially as you bring in some new players?
Well, it's their team. It's the successes they want come down to them. I'm going to give them the same X's and O's, and how they apply that, how they talk to the new transfers coming in and the freshmen, how they respond to tough trainings and everything like that. It's really their team. And once I can turn over the entire team to them, then we can have success.
Right, you didn't have to be too busy in the the portal in the offseason. I know it's interesting because those that follow professional soccer around the world, there's the transfer markets where you can bring in players and send players out. College athletics has kind of moved that direction with the portal. It's changed the dynamic a little.
And we've adapted. Again, we used to recruit a lot of internationals, and we've had players just finishing up the World Cup, and that was exciting. But now with the transfer portal, we've taken an eye on that. And last year's National Player of the Year, Blair Cowan, came from Ohio State. Micaiah, an All-American, came from Ohio State. We're getting quite a few Power Fives. But not just those players. We're getting junior college transfers and other D1s and D2s and just a wide variety of quality players.
What is the expectation for the team? I know as a coach, you've won national championships, you've played deep into the season, and so you kind of know, I'm sure, coming in year in and year out, what a team is capable of. What's the ceiling?
You're going to hate the answer, but it really is just to try to beat our next opponent, and that's something. No, I know, but again, coach speak. We really just got to focus on Eckerd and our first team. It's going to be tough on the road. They have a great little venue in there, so just if our players can focus on their next matches, then typically good things can happen.
I know you always try to build, early in the season before you get into conference schedule. Those kind of, you mentioned Eckerd and other schools. You try to play some tough competition because that's going to pay off.
Again, Flagler, Lynn, as well as Florida Southern, all good teams in their conferences, and we have to play the best. And that sets us up for a very, very difficult conference. And those you got to get results though.
Any impact players that you brought in that you expect to be able to make an impression early?
I guess maybe after the end of the season we can judge on that. That's just coaches speak.
But you got to go.
It's early.
It's good to have that good group of veterans, and then who knows who may surprise.
And you look up and down the roster. There's quality players from, again, the freshmen coming in to the transfers and then the returners. And you have to have that depth. And that's what I like about this team is I truly believe at all positions we have great depth, and that really helps you. You're going to have injuries. You got to expect that. You have to have the next person stepping up, and I think we do have some quality depth.
We got a chance to talk to a couple of Coach Bartlinski's players. Successful season last year, and how much does that carry into this year?
I think last year we had a lot of success because we were able to play with each other well. Like we were able to connect the ball and move back and forth well together, and we knew where everyone wanted the ball and what we could do together and what our strengths were. So we played into that a lot last year. And so I think this year, because we're returning most of our team, everyone kind of knows how each other plays already. So it's just building on that and then finding ways to incorporate all of the new transfers and the freshmen that are coming in.
Chemistry is such a big part of it. You're hitting on it right there, especially at your position, having that chemistry with that back line and your defenders in front of you. How long does it take to develop that?
For my position, I think you're kind of forced into learning how to do it quick. I think you have to pick it up really quick and navigate it and learn where the players want the ball and stuff. But I've also been playing soccer for so long that you kind of just flow into it, and you kind of know that ball on the ground, make it smooth, make it clean and stuff like that. And then you have that chemistry off the field that builds into the chemistry on the field that helps it develop quicker.
How quickly or at all do you kind of get over the way last season ended? I mean, there's nothing you can do about it when it's over. I know it's kind of like, let's move on to the next thing. But how long did it take to kind of get through that?
I mean, it hurt for a little bit, but I think it's also kind of like learn from what happened last year and build on that for this year. And knowing that, like, at the end of the game, like, we can look back and be like, this is where we struggled, where we fell apart, and then taking that and being able to incorporate it into preseason and new games that we've already had and moving forward.
How's the preseason preparation been? You take a trip to the Cayman Islands, you got kind of some of the preseason work in, games are coming up here. Where are you in that development process?
I think we found a good back line and like a balance with like the people in front of me, and I'm connecting well with them, and then they're able to connect very well with the midfield and forwards, and I think we have a good chemistry right now. There's a few little things that we had to work out that I think everyone's overall been able to work through them, and that we're able to find like our strengths, and we're navigating it very well.
How good can this team be?
I think we could win it all. I think we just got to put our minds to it, and that we'll be able to go very far into the season.
For you individually, but also as a team, what are kind of goals going into the season?
Well, individually, I didn't play last year, so coming back, I'm just looking forward to getting back into it and using that hurt from last season, not making it all the way, using that as motivation going forward.
This team has returning talent, obviously some veteran players, and you got to mix in some new. What's going to be the strengths of this team?
I think the strengths is, like you said, we have a lot of returners, so the chemistry is there. We just have a few new people. So far, they've all blended well. We've connected. I think this team is really strong chemistry-wise.
Do you feel like, with soccer kind of broken into different elements and different parts of the field, good strengths throughout from the goal all the way towards the front line?
Yes, I think from goalie all the way through, we got a good team.
Is there any area that you feel like is as you head through the preseason and get ready to play the first game that's ahead already, that this is going to be the strength of the team early on, and then the rest will kind of come together?
Well, I think a little biased, but I think our defense is solid. We got a good goalie, good back line. Yeah.
Is the goal going in to be a clean sheet every time to try to keep them off the scoreboard? And so how do you do that as a defensive unit?
You cover for each other. You win your tackle, and if someone misses theirs, you cover for them.
What's the expectation for this team? I mean, the preseason teams are, often they go and they kind of put on the whiteboard or wherever, here's our goals for the season. What does that look like for this program?
Our expectation is, of course, to win a national championship.
But there's steps along the way to that. What are those steps?
Take one game at a time. Win the next game. Win the next tackle. Just one thing at a time.
For you mentioned not playing last year into this year. What was that like having to watch?
It was hard.
And then how has that transitioned into where you are now and the prep that you had to put in to be where you are now?
It was hard to watch practice, not being able to play, watching it. I've used that as motivation to work harder over the summer, taking that time off to just really, I know this season I'm going to put my all into it.
Well, Coach, you guys opened the season on the road. As you mentioned, a little bit of tough competition. First home games come September 8th and 10th. Right here, you'll bring some tough teams in. Who do you expect in that first one? What do you expect?
It's fun. Flagler again, final 16 in the country, and they're always one of the toughest teams, and we wanted them here. Next year we would travel to them. Lynn University, one of the best premier teams, in the Southeast region, in the South. So it's just a great way to gauge ourselves before we get into our tough conference.
And the conference is tough. Mississippi College, the defending champs. And of course, then you guys, had a nice run in the postseason as well. Preseason predictions are you're right there with the folks over from Clinton, Mississippi.
Yeah, and other teams, fifth in the country. But as you know, it's where you finish, not where you start, and that's all that really matters.
I was going to say, you won't give me anything on players. I was going to ask about national rankings, but I knew where that was going to go. We'll look at that at the end and see where
that's where it matters, and that's what you got. Again, these players are wise into this, and we're going to continue to talk about the next game and where you finish, and not fifth in the country, and that's meh. Whatever. Yeah. We got to do better.
We'll see how it is at the end. Yeah. So you can make sure you follow Coach Bartlinski and his program all across social media through goargos.com. Get the Argo Armada app on your phone or tablet if you don't, because rosters and news and all that kind of stuff. Coach, good luck on the season. We appreciate you spending some time with us for the season preview. We'll see you down the line. And as always, go Argos.
Thank you.